Disclaimer, this tutorial is very advanced, and if you do not already know how to solve a 4x4, or you don't even know how to solve a 3x3, stop watching and go learn those things. Welcome. This is an upon request tutorial by this guy right here, and he wants to know how I solve my 4x4s, because as some of you know, I don't use YAO and I don't use reduction. I actually use a layer by layer method. So I want to show you really quickly what that looks like, and then we will get into a tutorial. So the first thing you want to do is make the white center, then go on the other side and make a yellow center. Then you want to form the other centers. Then you form the 4 white edges, so the white and orange, the white and green, the white and blue, and the white and red. Then we're actually going to begin the 3x3 part. So we're going to solve the first 2 layers. In some case, we end up solving a little bit more than just the first 2 layers. Notice how I pause right here. It's not because I'm confused or stuck. It's actually because I'm about to do something that most pros probably don't even do. Okay, so this is actually a post-edit recording, but here I am in the same position where I have a bar right here, and this last piece needs to be inserted right here. Watch what happens if I do it like this. I get to the last layer, and there are no edges pre-made for me. So one thing to keep note of is if you're about to insert the last edge piece right here and you have a bar back here, just do a quick J-perm to mix up the pieces so that you can preserve that centerpiece so that it will be there on your last layer so you can finish reduction even quicker. Solve the first 3 layers. Reduce back to 3x3. OLO. Parody if need be. And solve the cube. Now the secret to doing a solve that quickly is actually look ahead. Look ahead is something that I kind of down talk on 3x3 because look ahead isn't always necessary when you're solving a 3x3. But it's definitely necessary with 4x4. Specifically, when you're making the edges, you need to track the pieces so that you know where all the edge pieces are at one time. Because if we count, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 edge pieces that we need to be keeping track of in that short amount of time in between the centers and the reduction state. So let's say that we are just solving our last 2 center pieces. What is the first step? I see a green and white right here and a green and white right here. I need to put those together immediately and keep them on the side. I notice a bunch of white pieces, white edges right here, so I'm going to look at these. Okay, I look at the white and red one here. I remember there's one right there. Build it up right there. I see these 2 in front of me. Build that edge piece. I know that this is a white and orange piece, and I remember that there's one back here. So I do that as quickly as possible. It is all about tracking pieces. Now I'm going to talk about how to actually build the first 3 layers of a 4x4. I'm sure that you know how to solve a 3x3 if you're watching this, so we will build across like we normally do on a 3x3. And because I use CFOP, we're going to be doing some F2L here. Okay, so we have the first 2 layers like you would do on a 3x3. Now it is time to build the 3rd layer. Do you remember the algorithm that we used when we were still doing layer by layer? To put an edge right here to right here, we would do this. But we can't do that anymore because, as you saw, the edge piece was just taken out. So we're going to do a split version of that, where we do R prime wide, R wide. And the reverse of this is also the same. L wide, L prime wide. Now to make the 4x4 last layer edges, you have a case like this where there are two opposing colors on the same edges. Just do this algorithm that swaps the edges. Then you will want to put this piece right here, but we can't do it like that, so we will actually have to put this piece on the completely other side of the cube and do a slash move. Now you're in a position where you can solve the rest of the cube, put this piece into where it belongs, but make sure that once you do that, this piece will be the same as this piece. Because otherwise the cube will not come together. Now to do parody. And the other type of parody, the much easier one, now you can solve it like it is a regular 3x3. Now we are going to do a walkthrough solve. The scramble will be D2, L prime, B2, R, F2, D2, R prime, D2, R prime, D2, R2, U2, D prime, L prime, R2, D, B prime, R, B2, R, U, RY2, UY2, B prime, FY2, RY2, B, FY2, U2, R2, D, F2, R wide, F, L, F prime, D2, U wide, L2, front wide, L2, F2, R2 wide, F2 wide. First things first, there's a yellow bar and two aligning yellow pieces. Easy yellow center. Next, we need to make a white center. Next up is the red center. Right here is the green center. Next, the blue and orange center. Now we need to find these edge pieces. Okay, so we have orange, green, and blue. Blue right here. Next we have orange down there. And I like this piece right here, so we're gonna keep it safe. And find the green one is back there. Now we need to put in the rest of the pieces like it is a 3x3. For your first step, it doesn't always have to be the second layer. It can be the third layer piece, because there is another way to insert a second layer piece without messing up a third layer. And I will show you that right now. Easy enough. Finish the third layer piece. If for whatever reason you are looking at the last layer and the edge pieces don't align, these two don't align, just turn the cube upside down and then the edge pieces will align. Parody. You won't always get parody, but it's gonna happen more often than not. Other parody. Finish it up with a PLL, and you have solved the 4x4. For a shout out in the next video, how many 4x4 Rubik's Cubes do I own? As always, remember to join the Patreon. There are courses available there, and I do exclusive giveaways on my Patreon as well. So if you want cubes or merch delivered to you for free, highly recommend joining the Patreon. Also, maybe check out another video. I know you enjoyed this one.